Here we go. So guys, it's been a minute since I uploaded, sort of a daily upload. I'm going to get back on the grind. We're going to upload sort of 3 to 4 videos a week. Guys, I've only been uploading the podcast for a while. I've been crazy busy, which is why it hasn't happened. But we're going to get back on it, certainly for the next couple of months. If you haven't caught the podcast yesterday, go catch it. Jay Canada was on the podcast. If you're a content creator, you need to hear what Jay Canada said because he speaks in depth and he takes the filter off, talking about how he got to 200k subscribers being a 2k content creator. He also talks about his partnership with 2k, a lot of other things. And me, Killer Josh, and the Tourist God, we break down all the week's cards, all the week's news, as well as some controversial topics. If you're a content creator and you're not watching the podcast, you're definitely missing out. If you're a fan of the game, watch the podcast. You'll get a real kick out of it. As always, guys, please like and subscribe. We are back on the grind. We're really close to being monetized, just complete transparency. If you drop a sub today, you'll get us that little bit closer. I'll really appreciate it. So today, I'm going to talk about these new warped reality cards, and not only them, but any cards we get over the next 12 days. There's 12 days left in the season. I'm going to tell you why these cards are not worth picking up. There's very few reasons that you should even think about picking up these cards. First of all, I'm going to tell you why 2K have released this set, because they smashed it out the park. As far as content goes, they couldn't have done much better. Simmons is OP, Shaq is OP, Rudy's OP, even Bol is one of the best cards in the game. This entire set is absolutely goated. It just is. Steph Curry's the kind of question mark in the set, but you know someone like Splash is going to take Steph online and drop 100 with him in a game. So there isn't a bad card in this set, and they had to do it. They slept for a week or two on content. MLB came out, they started losing their fan base and player base and things like that. So they had to go overboard. They really had to. But guys, there is very few reasons to pick up these cards. And I'm hoping this video might stop you making a mistake. If you're considering picking up this Ben Simmons or this Shaq, unless you've got a couple of really good reasons, which I'm going to run through, there is no reason to pick up these cards. So the first reason you might have to pick up these cards is if you're still trying to get XP done. Now, if you really need to, you can pick up some of the lower tier cards. They're going for like 2-3k, some of these cards. You can pick them up for JR. Honestly, you don't need to. I haven't done any expensive cards this season. I got JR really early, within a day or two of him sort of being available to the wider community outside of those Tyronn Lue locker codes. But JR is really easy to get. We've still got 12 days left. We know the XP they're going to drop is absolutely crazy. And here's the thing. Do you want to pick up a million MT card like Ben Simmons to go and get a card that's effectively worse than that Ben Simmons? So JR Smith, you're picking up a Ben or a Shaq for JR doesn't make any sense. JR's a great card. I really like him. I know he's very divisive. I think he's worth it. But they're probably going to drop 50, 60, 70k worth of XP over the next 12 days, which you could do probably without picking up a single player. So unless you really want JR today, I don't think these cards are a good reason to pick up, these cards are the right thing to do to kind of complete the XP. You can just wait on it. That XP is going to drop. It's definitely going to be there. Unless you need him today, just wait. So another reason you might have is maybe you're still trying to finish the spotlights. Maybe you're still trying to finish domination. Neither of those, again, are good reasons to pick up these cards. I got both of those modes done without using these cards. In fact, I was using a lot of underpowered cards. I have a video on this. How to beat Hall of Fame domination, how to beat Hall of Fame spotlights. The CPU isn't that clever, guys. You're not going to ever need a Ben Simmons or a Shaq Dark Matter card to beat the CPU, even on Hall of Fame. Go check that video out. You could do it using dated cards for last season. You could probably build a squad for about 100k, and you probably already have the players you need to get that done. So if you are struggling with those modes and you still want to get these done, then go check out that video before dropping a million MT on a card. Also, these cards are not really worth it anymore, guys. John Wall is getting outdated very, very quickly. Again, picking up a Ben Simmons to then go get a John Wall doesn't make any sense. To burn 100k MT just in buying Ben Simmons before the resale. John Wall is not worth 100k right now. That's a fact. Mel Daniels, I've used him once. I don't even like the card. I've still got to Evo him. Maybe he's better as a Dark Matter. But I'm probably going to bring Wes Unsold back in from the John Wall grind. So Danny Ferry may be the other reason. He's in TTO boards right now. It's kind of weird. They've done it for the weekend. I don't know if he's going to end up back in the vault. Either way, guys, again, you do not need a 1 million MT card to try and get Danny Ferry. You just don't. If he ends up back in the vault in a couple of days, again, most people run emeralds and bronzes and all sorts of things in TTO offline. There's no reason to have an OP card. And even in TTO, there's some really good cards you could run right now. Again, you could probably build a really good TTO lineup for like 10 to 15k. I think TTO often just comes down to skill versus skill. You know, if I'm running 3 diamonds, 3 OP diamonds like a Tyrese or whatever, and my opponent's running 3 Dark Matters, it really comes down to who can play the game better. The skill gap is probably most relevant in that game. But again, you don't want to be spending a million MT to pick up Danny Ferry. You just don't want to do it. Like, there's no reason to do it. You can get 3 really OP cards, probably run 3 opals that are very, very strong to get him. No reason to be spending a million, 1.5 million, 2 million MT trying to pick up this set. And that goes for any other cards that they might drop in the vault or on TTO. You know, we've got Roundel, we've got Harper, we've got Spares. They're basically giving Harper away for free right now. You play a few games to TTO, you're probably TT offline, you're probably going to get him. So there's no real reason, again, if they drop another Danny Ferry style card or another Terry Dishinger like elite card in the vault tomorrow, don't feel like you need to go pick up an OP card to get them. You just don't. You could run TT offline with a couple of bronzes and an amethyst and get it done very easily. Again, we have videos both on TT online and TT offline. Go check out the main page and see if you can find those videos. It'll tell you how to win those games a lot more easily. I'm not good at the game, and the last 2 times I've streamed, I've gone 10-0 on the TTO board. There is a strategy, guys, and it's not going to come down to the players that you use. So now we get into the reasons that you might want to pick up these cards at this point. Michael Red, we have him on the account, so being Notorious God plays on my account. To me, he's probably a top 10 player in the world, even with skill-based matchmaking and everything else in the game. He was always going to get Michael Red for us. I tend to run the first few tiers to Diamond or something like that, and then he finishes it off from there. But again, Michael Red's not worth it, guys. If you're going to pick up a million MT or spend 2 million MT, maybe you get Shaq, you get Simmons, you get Rudy, you get Bol. Say you get this whole new unlimited team to go and get Michael Red. Michael Red's probably not going to make your team at that point, so why are you doing it? Now, if you're doing it for a personal badge of honor and it's something that you do every season, you know, I did it myself once when we got Iggy. That was it for me. I wasn't prepared to do that again for the rest of the year. But if you're just trying to get that badge of honor, then fine. That's a good reason to pick up these cards if you just want to get Michael Red and get that box ticked. Because if you enjoy playing Unlimited, you might want to ask yourself some questions because you're on an island. But if you do enjoy playing Unlimited and you want to get it done, honestly, you might need to pick up some of these cards because this set is so OP. But Michael Red really is the only reason, but I still think it's not worth it. If you're 50-50 on whether you should complete Unlimited to get Michael Red, if you're going to have to drop 2 million MT in order to do it, I'm telling you it's not worth it. So the final reason that you might want to pick up these cards, and the only good reason, in my opinion, to pick up these cards right now, is if you're comp, right? If you're playing in Players Lounge, My Team Madness, My Team Rising, whatever, if you're a guy who wagers and makes money from this game, then fine. That's your window to go and pick up these players, because I'm sure a lot of the comp guys are going to be running these players, so you don't want to end up with sort of mismatches and things like that. Honestly though, guys, outside of that, there isn't a reason to pick up these cards. This is 2K clickbaiting at its absolute best. They're wanting us to get really excited and go, oh my god, there's a 6'10" point guard. You know, he's got range. It's Ben Simmons who could shoot. Elite defender. Like, absolutely, I'm going to go pick up these cards. Do not fall for it, guys. There's no reason to. For 12 days, I've got no reason to pick up one of these cards. And if I do have a reason, please let me know what it is in the comments. The only other possible reason you could have to pick up these cards, and which is probably the reason I would respect the most, is if you're just a fan of these players and you want them in your team. That's fine. But you're going to lose MT, guys. You're going to lose MT on these cards. Super packs are coming in probably 10 days. And people say super packs don't influence the market because they're VC only. I don't think that's true. The problem is, as soon as people think the market's going to crash, the market crashes. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what it is. I do agree that VC only super packs won't crash the market that much, but they will crash the market to an extent. Ben Simmons will go down to about 600-700k. He's already coming down. He was at 1.2 million a couple of days ago. He's already coming down gradually, and he'll continue to do that because no one's got a reason to pick up these cards. The other reason that these cards will come down in price is cards get like an XP kind of boost, is the best way I can put it. When you need cards for XP, let's take this Steph Curry. He's going to be getting an XP boost right now because people are going to pick him up because they need to get JR. The more people that get JR, the cheaper these cards become. Now, you'll know there's examples of cards that have been sitting at probably 20, 30k throughout the season that are probably worth about 3 to 5k. The reason they're inflated is because people still needed those cards for XP. As soon as everyone's got JR who wants to get JR, and realistically that should happen in the next few days, every card is going to crash. So we've got multiple reasons that the market's going to crash soon. So even if you have a really good reason to pick up these cards, you still might want to wait a few days for that market crash to happen. That's everything, guys. As I said, check out the podcast from yesterday. We got a really big guest on again next week. It's really exciting doing this podcast every week. We have a lot of fun. We talk about this stuff in more detail, so go check it out. If you're grinding anything out in the game right now, stick it on in the background and you'll have some fun while you grind. Outside of that, guys, like I said, I'll be back to uploading fairly regularly. I'll upload a few videos over the next few days. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys.